Okay, so let's head back to the view controller. And here we are going to change the geometry here, this plane geometry. So if you remember what we've done in the last video, we accessed the first material of the plane geometry. So let's have a look at that. Plane geometry dot first material. And here you can type color and you will see that you have access to this color buffer right mask. And in here you could pass, so if you show a quick help and go in there, you get nothing. Oh, thank you. Oh, right, okay, so yeah, all alpha, blue, etc., etc. So these are the type of properties you could pass into an array to say, right, I want this, 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 and this, but we're just going to pass an empty array, and that's all you need to do. So that means that now our plane geometry, its first material, is irrelevant. That would basically be, that would now, because we removed it, by default it's going to be white, but we also added this line which makes it completely transparent. Okay, now what we also did is that the node for this geometry did not cast any shadows. So where are we? It's this node here. So let's remove that. And in here, we can say that the plane node dot cast shadows or shadow equals false. And now let's see how this looks. All right, so we have our cube. It's rotating, and if I start to look around, right, so I found my anchor, and you can see now how magically we have the shadow of our cube on the bar, and if I look down, for some reason I can also see it there, and that's not good. So we need to do something about that. We'll probably have to remove this anchor as well. We don't need it anymore now. And the only thing we need to do in here now is to access our plane node again. So in here, and we need to make sure that this node will always render before anything else, which means that if we have a transparent plane that is added onto the table, for example, and we had another anchor on the floor that's under the table, if I look over the table, I should not be able to see what's under the table, even though the plane is completely transparent. And in order to do this, it's actually very simple. You just need to call the node, the plane node, and you say that its rendering order is going to be, so by default we have 0, and all the nodes that we have right now are the same, and this is an order of preference. So instead of putting or adding 1 as a rendering order for everything else, I can go in minus here. So I'm going to just put -1. So I know that this one, -1 comes before 0. So this one is going to, this plane node is always going to render before other objects. Let's run and see how it looks. Okay, so here we are under the bar now. So this object is now under the bar, and if I look over, you can see how now it disappears under the plane that's just created. So we can see the plane, but look at that. It makes it really look really real. The only thing that's a bit of an issue right now is that if you look from under, you can see that it did that just add another Wow, I think it's the first time I saw an upside down plane, but I guess it's a horizontal plane, so very interesting. Um, but yeah, look, we have the shadow here. We can't see through. That's really crazy. Right, that's not what I wanted to show you, but it's actually very interesting, so I'm going to leave this in there. What we've got, the problem we have here is that half of these is under the table, right? So it just added 2 anchors. That's crazy. So yeah, what we need to do is to make sure that the material of this plane here is double-sided. That's all we need to do. So let's just stop that. And here, this plane geometry. Oop. First material, plane, capital. So first material dot, and you can say is double-sided and set this to true. So now we would have color on both sides, which means that we will have invisibility on both sides, okay? I'm going to remove the anchor. So where were we? Here. Remove, so add anchor. I'm just going to comment this out. Run. So here we are under the bar once again. If I look down, it just adds the plane, so that's good. And if I look, you can see how, right, this is updating now. And I don't know what you think, but this to me looks like some really good augmented reality. Look at that. That's mad. When I say that interacting with virtual and physical makes the experience magical, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Wow. Okay, so I hope you like this. I just have a couple more things in this section to make it look really cool, and then we'll do something else.